Welcome, everyone, to another episode of In This Very Ring. We are here live from our own Real Talk studios. I am the commissioner, Ritz. My man over here, we got Butters. And guys, we got a lot in store for tonight. A lot of positivity, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. No bitching. Got a lot.
No bitching.
Right.
You're funny.
Maybe some bitching. But a lot of positivity. A lot of positivity. I've got a lot to say. Because it's the power of positivity. Remember that.
Shit.
The power of positivity will set you free.
Not
We're brought
anymore,
to you, as always, by our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Check him out on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. He's got 3 locations at Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. Also, check out the gutter deck restoration experts at Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services. You can give them a call at 856-879-5530. Make sure to tell Michael Ambrose that the guys over at A2D sent you. Our topic of conversation today comes straight out of the WWE Draft. As you folks know, last night was night 1 of a 2-part WWE Draft. First part took place last night. We had a mini supplemental round this morning on Talking Smack, and part 2 will take place on Monday. Last night, during round 4 of the draft, it finally happened. The New Day has been split up there on separate shows. So QB54 gives us our poll question. QB54, you can catch them at playqb54.com. They are the best tailgating game in the business. So, this was the right way to split up the New Day. Agree, disagree. Butters, my brother, lay it on me.
It's a sad day. Yes, it is. No, not really. I had to go there with a cheesy pun again. Screw it. But, I mean, it is an interesting way to split them up. I will give them that. Is it the right way? Probably. I mean, how else are you going to do it? It's better than the old method of, somebody stabbing somebody in the back. I mean, their faces said it all. They look pretty damn shocked and surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if WWE said, we're just going to surprise them and not say anything to them. I'd have to agree with the poll question. I mean, at least on this point, like I said, I'd rather have them do it because the draft is unknown. It's the unknown factor in WWE. You never know what's going to happen with the draft. You never know what's going to go down. And like I said, I'd rather have a draft break somebody up than the old stab them in the back. Now we're broken up kind of deal going on.
Right. So we got a couple questions coming in right out the gate. We got Kevin Dixon over on Facebook saying, hey, Andy, hey, Butters, how are you guys? So since the New Day split up, what will they do with the SmackDown Tag Team titles? We're going to talk about that in just a moment, Kevin. Thanks for joining us over on Facebook. Guys, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, wherever you're catching this show. Or if it's the next day and you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify Speaker, and all your other podcast needs. Podcast services, I should say.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what's going to happen with the SmackDown Tag Team titles in just a moment. Frank Vespi chiming in, hey, yo, sorry to bother you at work. To answer the poll question, it was going to happen, but now it all depends on what's going to happen. What's going to happen further in Big E's single run once Kofi and Xavier return? Will the heel turn finally happen?
No.
Brooks on Periscope saying, I remember being at the show in Indianapolis when the Shield split up the first time. Oh, you were there. I want to hear that story. Chrome chiming in, disagree with the poll 1,000%. Anyone that agrees is an idiot. Well, won't be the first time you've called me an idiot. Won't be the last time you've called me an idiot.
I was going to say, I just agreed with the poll, so I guess it makes. I mean, as I said, it's a better damn way to split them up in this stupid ass somebody's turning heel bit.
And Joey says, Butter, you're glitching. No, that's just how he is in real life. And Ted says, Seth's saying he never wants to work with Matt Riddle in his career. I actually haven't looked at any news for today.
That was actually last night.
That was last night. See, ever since the show came off the air last night, I didn't really get a chance to look at any news. I didn't get a chance to look today. I had some stuff going on, but I got to agree with the poll. And let me tell you why. And I know Chrome is going to sit there and say that, I'm an idiot for agreeing. And well, quite frankly, I don't care. But I think this is super smart because for two reasons. One, you're able to split them up now. Kofi and Xavier can go off and do whatever they need to do late, with the tag titles. I would think you're going to see the Street Profits transferred, especially with Bianca being moved to SmackDown. Don't be surprised if the Street Profits move. So they'll probably just switch titles to say, all right, we're going to take those. You're going to take those, and kind of move on from there. Unless
they pull the swerve, because I think Monday night it's supposed to be the New Day versus Shinsuke and Cesaro again, but they didn't say if the titles were on the line or not.
I still think that it doesn't make sense to put the titles on them and then take the titles right back off.
No, it really doesn't. But
it really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Other than to say, Biggie got that, 7th title reign just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I mean, and if you watch, go back and watch Talking Smack today. It's part of the free version of the WWE Network. There's Sami Zayn's talking about they're split up and they're on the panel at that time, and sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Watch Big E's face throughout that whole thing. Watch how he is just sitting there and he's not looking at Sami. He's not looking at the other New Day members. He's just kind of gazing off into the distance.
As I say, his reaction last night on SmackDown said it all. Once they drafted, when they announced that whole split, like his face, you could just see it, like just everything draining from him.
Right, absolutely. Now, all of that being said, while I agree to the fact that this is the right way to split them up, in the sense of put them on different shows, it's going to let people stand out. I see Chrome chiming in right here saying this is a chance to make a star, whether Big E or Xavier. Even if it happens next week, it's dumb and uneventful. The New Day is so established. I can see it, and I think I said it earlier in our wrestling chat that we have. I said, I might have said it. I thought it. I don't know if I said it. But it could happen next week during the New Day farewell match. Let somebody turn. Let Big E turn.
But it's so old, cliche, and played the hell out.
100% is. That's why, I like the fact that, hey, we just split them up. Somebody asked me today at work. Somebody asked me, how does WWE do a draft? Why does WWE do a draft? That sounds so silly. And when you really think about it, it kind of is. But this is how I explained it. This is how I worded it. And I kind of like the explanation. It gives the WWE an excuse to shake things up and change things around. Obviously, they keep things the same, but they're going to change things up and without any explanation. They don't have to have a rhyme or reason for doing it because it's a draft, right? They can just flat out say, we want to move this person here and that person over there. And you don't
want to keep a storyline. Yeah. Unless you want to keep a storyline the same and just move
stupid things to SmackDown for zero reason whatsoever.
Do what?
I said for zero reason whatsoever. It makes no sense. We're going to get to that in a minute. No, and we got Malakovic chiming in. I disagree to the poll. You can't break up the New Day. You can. They did, right? It's one of those things that it was inevitable. 6 years, right? Yeah, 2014. 6 years they've been doing this.
It's very rare a tag team lasts as long as the New Day does without being split up.
And without them being even irrelevant. I mean, obviously they went through a phase where they were just kind of there. They were just kind of existing, right?
Right there in the
But
beginning, yeah.
no, even in the middle. There was a point in the middle where they were just kind of existing. They weren't really doing anything. They weren't doing anything bad. They weren't doing anything good either. You know, I think probably, God, what year was it? It was when they did the whole New Day time machine thing. It's right around the time where I was like, okay, you guys are bored. Yeah, Butters, your internet is rough tonight. Chrome saying
it sounds like it. Good Lord.
On the same shows. The ones they moved are the same 5-month-old storylines on a different night.
But right there.
But hold on. And don't get me wrong. They didn't shake it up, but it's their opportunity to. I didn't say, let's run it back. I didn't say they did shake things up. I said it's an opportunity for them to shake things up. I get it. You didn't like it, right? But at least listen properly, okay? I said it's an opportunity for them to. We still have another night of all this happening. Also, today, Heavy Machinery broke up. Otis is on SmackDown. Tucker's over on Raw. Right?
Now just need Judge Judy just to, stop everything and be done with.
So you're so stupid. I am interested to see if they do like a special judge for that.
Judge Judy or Judge Joe Brown. Anybody else, and I'm not interested.
Where the hell did you pull Judge Joe Brown from?
I've been thinking about it all week. I was hoping, last night they would have brought the judge in and it'd been either Judge Judy or Judge Joe Brown, and dear God, they had to halt it for another week.
Ted chiming in, their drafts make sense now. They draft the whole faction like the NWO. They can only take tag teams now. Joey wants to know, when are we going to get another round of what Butters doesn't know? So if you missed it, last week, Frank and Ryan from the Fix in the PM showed up, and, well, they took Butters to school, and it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So let's bring up a couple of things as we talk about the draft, okay? Draft rules. Over 70 superstars were placed in this year's WWE Draft. 30 superstars were eligible to be drafted last Friday, and 40 were eligible to be drafted tonight. And by the way, for the record, WWE said the rules were on their social media, and this was the most recent photo they had on their social media for the draft rules, even though I damn well know this is from last week. I mean, last year's draft, right? But this was the most recent one they had as far as the draft rules, at least that I saw. And it pretty much stays true, right? For every 2 picks SmackDown has, Raw will get 3, 2 hours, 3 hours. Tag teams will count as 1 pick unless Fox or USA Network specifically wants to pick 1 superstar from that team. Any undrafted superstars will immediately be declared free agents and are able to sign with a brand of their choosing, such as you saw with Mickie James, Lindsay Dorado, Shorty G, and Grand Metalik following this recent draft. Todd Womack, they're not going to do anything with Otis. See, I disagree. I saw an article that said Vince has been shutting down ideas to take the Money in the Bank briefcase off of Otis. So I think Vince is invested. That scares the hell out of me. But I think Vince is definitely invested. Big E, I love the draft. Jesus Christ. Yeah, wear the fancy suits. And Ted, were you guys disappointed NXT didn't get involved? Not really. Not really.
Right now, NXT is a good thing going. Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
No, you don't want to touch the superstars down there and bring them up. Not right now, at least. Especially getting ready for Survivor
I think the last
Series, Retribution and all that.
I think the last time they rated the NXT roster, it left them dry for a good few months? To try to build back up?
I think so.
I mean, so leave them be. We got some good draft picks coming out of Friday. We got some good, We got some shakeup, some interesting, what the hell moments, WTF mate and all that good stuff.
Now, here's what I will say. So Stephanie comes out and she does round one. We're going to get to round one in a minute. But I thoroughly enjoyed the Big E, Sheamus, no holds barred, falls count anywhere, whatever the fuck kind of match it was called at the moment. I thought that was phenomenal. Those two were great. It showed just how brutal Big E can be. We knew how brutal Sheamus could be. The incorporation of everything on the outside. I loved it. I really did.
I'd say second best match. Parts of it, from what I saw though, second best match of the night, match of the week compared to O'Reilly and Balor.
Yeah, O'Reilly and Balor was really good. O'Reilly and Balor was very, very good.
I mean, I got to give it to Big E and Sheamus for not knocking each other's heads loose.
Well, those shots with the broomstick, those looked kind of rough. I get it, right? You got some stuff in there that's designed not to be a certain way, but good Lord. Let's see. Let's get into
not as brutal as this week's dog collar match either.
As this week's what?
I don't.
Again, your internet sucks tonight.
Sorry, the dog collar match. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not. I did not catch the match right away.
It was another good match of the week.
I saw that Cody won, and I don't know how much I agree with that. But then again, I'm not a fan of AEW still.
Next week I do believe it is Orange Cassidy versus Cody for the title. So maybe
it is. I saw that. I saw that. I like that.
Maybe it's just a way for them to get the title on Orange Cassidy without having to through Brody Lee.
Maybe. Let's get in the round one. That's draft, though. Drew McIntyre goes first, obviously. Big shock there. Roman Reigns goes second to SmackDown. Again, big shock there. Asuka stays on Raw. Again, not really a shock. But what I will say, the shock moment of the first round was Seth Rollins coming over to SmackDown. I thought that was a big grab for SmackDown. Obviously, they tainted a few rounds later. But
I was going to say, I was all excited, and then, like you said, a few rounds later, I just kind of got really fucking disappointed.
Yeah, not sure I necessarily agree with bringing them over. We're going to talk about them in just a little bit. And the Hurt Business stays on Monday Night Raw as well, which I thought is a really smart move to do, especially if you're going to keep Retribution on. By the way, this was the pool of superstars that were eligible Friday night. Okay, you can see Humberto, Angel, Mickey, Ricochet, Drew, Lucha House Party, Miz and Morrison, Heavy Machinery, Shorty G, Bianca, Murphy, Rose, and Dana Brooke, members of the Hurt Business, the women's tag team champions Shayna and Nia, Dominic and Ray, Naomi, Jay, The New Day, AJ, Sasha, Roman, Drew, Asuka, and what's his name? Seth. Those were all the folks that were eligible last night. And like I said, between the 4 rounds that they did on the air and the 5th round they did on Talking Smack, everybody with the exception of Shorty G, Mickey, Grand Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado got drafted.
So we just got free agents going to run wild until after Monday's night draft?
So Seth went to SmackDown to not have a feud with Morrison. Yes, absolutely.
I would have taken that feud over the current feud.
Saying they also made main roster stars Alexa Bliss. Crow, my favorite part of the draft was Dana Brooke getting drafted to Raw, and they acted like she hasn't been there for a month. Well, hasn't really done anything. And Crow asking who got drafted. Yeah, from the looks of it, where is my 5th round? I don't think I have the 5th round one on here.
Right
here. Here it is. In the 5th round, that was today during Talking Smack. He went in the middle, right after Murphy and Kalisto. So,
God,
let's break down the first round. Okay, you obviously you take your champions. Smart move. Keep your champions on each show. Are you still with me? You froze.
Yeah, I'm still here. Let me try something. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me a second.
So I'm going to talk about it just for a moment. With the first round, you take your champions. Super smart move to take, right? Obviously, duh. Seth probably the big shock moment out of that. Seth moving over to SmackDown. Chrome hasn't done anything. She's only won every tag match with Mandy, including getting the pins. It was sarcasm. Damn. I get she's been doing things. I watched the same podcast, dude. It was just sarcasm because of how Dana Brooks.
Are you sure you're not watching? Are you sure you're not watching an alternate universe product?
I don't know. Maybe I am. Some days when I'm on the show, I think that I am. But you can ask around. I've been a Dana fan. I've been pushing for Dana for a while. The fact that she's with Mandy Rose right now is phenomenal. I like this tag team. I like what they can do with it. You know, you're not overshadowing what Ruby and Liv are doing, trying to go after the women's tag titles. They're building these guys up. It's going to be really good to see what they do. Joey DiBardino, did Gulak make a PowerPoint presentation? You know, I wouldn't mind if they brought that back. I really wouldn't mind. That wouldn't make me upset at all.
This is why I should get drafted to Raw. These little points said so.
All right, let's go to round 2. Round 2 is AJ Styles moving to Raw, Sasha Banks to SmackDown, Naomi to Raw, Bianca Belair to SmackDown, and the women's tag team champions staying on Raw. AJ Styles.
Okay, so
go ahead.
So I mean, it's a really good round of drafts this time around. You know, compared to the compared to the first round being so obvious. The second round, I mean, you're moving some of the women around. Thank God. You know, give them a chance to shine on a different brand. Even though Bianca, we haven't really seen that much on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't see a lot from Bianca. You know, they flat out said we don't have anything for you.
This is very true. Well, hopefully that means that they'll have something for her on SmackDown. I mean, go up against Bayley. I mean, I guess it's hard to have anything for them to do when, you know, Asuka's your champion. And that's not knocking Asuka. It's just kind of hard to.
I would have liked Bianca versus Asuka, even though and I'd have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure we saw it in NXT on one of Asuka's last NXTs before coming up. I thought it was Bianca.
Think we did.
No, I'm sorry. That was Shayna. That was Shayna and Bianca that we saw. The AJ Styles move doesn't surprise me, knowing that he's not a Paul Heyman fan. He doesn't want to be on the same show as Paul Heyman. He went to SmackDown to get away from the man. So that really doesn't surprise me. I like it, bringing AJ over to Raw, especially with him still being this heel character. Because Todd asks, who can Drew go against now? I was really looking forward to Seth versus Drew. We could very well see AJ versus Drew. Very well see it. They don't do anything with Keith Lee in this mix.
I would really like to see AJ versus Drew. I think it actually be a really good, you know, set of matches to, you know, to watch. It's two really good wrestlers when it comes down to it. In my opinion, I'd rather see multiple AJ versus Drew than I would Drew versus Orton for the umpteenth million time.
Yeah, but Drew versus Orton's been good. The promos have been good. AJ's another one of those people that can have a good promo battle with Drew. And I think that's what you need. I think you need someone that not only can wrestle in the ring, but also be able to help elevate Drew on the mic and help make that storyline believable. Because right now, you've got the Thunderdome, you've got people there, and there's talks of the Florida governor allowing people back into arenas and different things like that. So you have some of that talk. But
that's they did a little bit with NXT this Sunday by allowing a few people in.
Yeah, but a lot of that was friends. That was family. There were some fans, but I don't know what the split was. How many of those were fans? How much were friends? Were family? Things like that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know that. But again, you're right. To your point, they had people there. So we're slowly starting to see that building back up.
And it's better and honestly, it's better to test with NXT because it's a smaller venue than it is to
run an arena like the Amway Center and not have it totally full.
Yep.
Cody McDonald saying AJ needs one more championship before he retires. I don't disagree, but it has to be done in the right moment. It has to be done in the right kind of idea.
Cody, what's up, brother? Been a long time. We need to meet again. But I do agree.
I take
Sorry,
it, you know?
Yes, I do. Good old friend.
Okay. I was like,
I do agree, though. I do agree, though. AJ needs at least one more good run before he retires. AJ's always been killer with the promos with the titles.
And he needs to have a monstrous run, in my opinion. He really hasn't done anything. I don't want to say he hasn't done anything. That's the wrong verbiage to say.
I was going to say, he just had that Intercontinental title run.
The Intercontinental title was great, but no, I guess I look back at like his Impact days, his TNA days, and some of the work he did over there was phenomenal, pun intended.
Hey, puns are my job, damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, stupid is your job.
Tomato?
Well, no. Absolutely not. I don't know. I kind of want him to go on this dominant kind of heelish run with the title, more so than he did when he was the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp, all of that.
So surprise, surprise, we see Shayna and Nia on Raw. So does that tell me that when they lose the titles, one of them or both are going after the women's championship?
Probably.
I mean,
that doesn't surprise me. You keep them on Raw. That's where they were, right? That doesn't really surprise me on that one.
Naomi going to Raw is an interesting move. Is that so that Naomi can be pushed in the spotlight again and give Asuka somebody else while Nia and Shayna are tag champs? Or is that just, are they going to split up the Usos?
That's a good question because it's Jimmy who wasn't part of the draft pool, and Jimmy's the one married to her, right?
I do believe so, yes.
I always get that confused. Which one's married to Naomi?
You know what?
And I get them both confused. If there wasn't a singles competition right now, I wouldn't know this is freaking Jey Uso.
Right.
So
yeah, she's married to Jimmy.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, they could very well move it over. Absolutely.
I mean, yes, he's injured right now, so it's not gonna, affect anything here or there. But again, could they split them up? Because yet again, here they are splitting up tag teams again. 3 tag teams in one night. That's a hell of a split.
In one night of 3 tag teams. New Day, Heavy Machinery. What was the third one?
Oh, I'm thinking they're already splitting them up. Okay, it's 2. My bad. I don't.
Who were you thinking about?
Who was I thinking about?
Great question.
God. See, I guess
and this is why your job is to be stupid.
Woo!
This is why your job is supposed to be stupid.
Hey, speaking of woo, you seen the new Skittles commercial?
Yes, it's hysterical. Joey says WWE should do a night where the fans pick the matchup so we can see something different once in a while. Joey, they called it Cyber Sunday or Taboo Tuesday, and it sucked.
And how are we sure that it was actually the fans picking those matches?
Man, but that was the worst. When I remember when they tried to do Taboo Tuesday the first year. You know how hard it was at like the age of 11? Mom, I need to stay up and watch this pay-per-view. Tuesday. Mom, we need to buy the pay-per-view. I need to watch it. I get to vote on the matches. It's school night. Mom, I don't care. I want to watch this. No, you're not watching it. My grandmother walks in the room. Here, I'll pay for it. Grandma for the win.
Always grandma for the win.
Without that woman, man, it would have been so bad.
But yes, they've done it before with they've done it even before with regular matches on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown where they've done the vote. But again, like I said, I still believe half the time that those votes are rigged in some way.
Well, yeah, they have to be in order to make things go the way they want it, right? In some aspect. Kevin Dixon isn't Charlotte Flair's fiance or boyfriend or whatever the hell we're calling him this week in a tag team. Actually, on Raw this past week, they split them. They more or less said that they were splitting up Angel and Andrade.
Yep.
Let's get into round 3. Let's see here.
Round 3. Fight. What?
Well, that picture didn't pixelate well. Fantastic.
Hey, at least the words are pixelated better than the pictures they are.
Fair point. So we have Ricochet, Jey Uso, Mandy Rose. This is where the shit hits the fan with Rey and Dominic. And then Miz and Morrison.
It really hits the fan at the supplemental draft too.
Oh no, we'll get there. We'll talk about it. We're working our way there.
It's where the shit spreads. How about that?
Fair point. That's a very fair point.
Okay, so round 3, Ricochet doesn't surprise me because I feel like they're teasing him joining the Hurt Business. I keep wanting to say Hurt Locker. I keep wanting to say the Hurt Locker, and I don't know why.
Damn, that was a movie.
I know, and it was a damn good one.
I don't think they're gonna do that. Frank, yay pixelation. Well, if someone would have helped me.
Jeez, Frank.
No, I actually I had asked Frank, I messaged him the other day. I was like, hey, I'd like graphics for after the draft. If I got you the names, could you make them? And Frank's like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And then I had a moment during the first round where I went, oh crap, they're gonna do multiple rounds and it's gonna be 5 people around. I'm gonna give Frank like 20 names. And I said to myself, nah, I don't think I can do that. And I was watching, I was like, wait a minute, I'll just take pictures on my phone of this stuff. And we'll take you through. Because I was watching on my computer. And then my computer decided it didn't want to work for round 3. So I missed round 3 altogether. I didn't know it happened. So I had to pull this one from like the internet, and then I had to crop and move stuff around. And I was like, sure, this works. This is great.
Oh, Lord.
And the role of Gene Snitsky is now being played by Frank Vespi. It wasn't my fault.
Just don't kick the baby. That's all I ask.
And Kevin says, isn't that Toasty's job? Not referring to kicking a baby. I don't think Kevin's out there just kicking 2-year-olds. But the Ricochet move, to your point, that makes sense, right? Keeping the Hurt Business over there. They very well could bring Ricochet in.
I mean, they were teasing it this past Monday. You know, they could keep him on there to tease it, and either he joins or don't. But, I mean, either way, it's giving Ricochet something to do right now.
But you don't want to put too many people in the Hurt Business and have it become an NWO style thing.
No, but you need at least one more person to go up against Retribution.
But you really need to.
I mean, no. I mean, you could always say, hey, I need some help at Survivor Series if it happens.
Crow says we're in Vince's pocket, apparently.
If I was in Vince's pocket, I mean, I wouldn't be with the shitty breakup internet crap that I have right now. Maybe. I mean,
Oh my God. Okay. So that happened.
If I was in Vince's pocket, I wouldn't have to be worried about money, would I? Dear God.
No, you still have to be worried about money.
Yeah, that's true. On that note, Mandy Rose staying on Raw.
Well, and that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I mean, and Jey Uso staying on SmackDown. We skipped over Jey. That doesn't surprise me either, knowing that he's going for the Universal title again. Which, by the way, let's talk about that for a minute, because I don't really know how I feel. You're telling me that we're going to put Roman Reigns, the big dog, the tribal chief.
I was about to say the tribal chief.
Inside Hell in a Cell against his cousin, one of the best tag team wrestlers of this decade, Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Let me repeat one more time. Inside Hell in a Cell. But it's not just going to be any Hell in a Cell match. No. It's going to be an I Quit Hell in a Cell match. I'm sorry. Can you run that by me again? Here's the thing. I don't know if it's the most beautiful thing that's ever happened or potentially the most dumbest thing they've ever done.
I think it's beautiful, and I think it's better than, Seth Rollins versus The Fiend in Hell in a Cell. Because that damn near...
Ryan's favorite match?
Exactly. I mean, at least in this one, you have a reason why you're stopping the match.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Having a reason to stop the match inside Hell in a Cell makes a lot of sense. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the...
And then I'm honestly surprised they haven't done it yet. I mean, it's Hell in a Cell. You are brutalized, beaten, shredded, torn down to the point where you want to quit. Inside this cell, inside this match. So it makes a lot of sense to have an I Quit match, and I'm so surprised they haven't done it in the many years they've done a Hell in a Cell.
Agreed. Like, the fact that we're just now coming about this is surprising. But I think where my reservation sits is that we just tried to do a fatal 4-way Iron Man match, and you kind of ended that in a schmoz.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are taking another match, combining two matches essentially. I don't want to see it end in a schmoz. I want to see, like, I want it to be, I think it would be a great match because we saw what Jay's capable of inside Hell in a Cell. We know what Roman's capable of, period.
What do you expect?
Together.
You expecting Roman to pull a thing like his cousin and have a recorder?
Would you be
surprised for Jay?
Would you be surprised?
No, not really. But it'd be more surprising if Paul Heyman's the one that had the recorder.
I can see Paul doing it. I can totally see that. Like that would be the thing, right? Like, all right. Listen up, guys. Listen up. Here we are. So this next bit that I'm about to do is what happens inside the creative room at WWE. All right, guys. Listen up, okay? Hear me out. It's gonna sound crazy. It's gonna sound mind-boggling, but let me say it. Let's have Roman fight Jay inside Hell in a Cell, but let's make it an I Quit match. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not done.
All Vince is seeing so far is money signs. He got the money sign eyes.
I'm not done. No. We're going to give Paul Heyman a button. And Paul Heyman's going to hit that button. And that button will echo through the WWE Thunderdome. A pre-recorded message of Jay saying I quit from a promo we're going to have him cut next week on SmackDown. Yeah, that's so genius. We've never done that before.
it's like. Oh man, it's like I can't remember what match. Oh no, we've never done that before, right? Rock's never done anything like no, not even with Mick Foley. No. Vince, I'm telling you, we ain't done that before, man. We ain't done that before.
It'll be totally different. It'll be obvious. It'll be noticeable. Like at least with the Rock's one, it wasn't like when you watch it back, it's not super noticeable. When you watch it live, when you watch it back, yeah, you see like how it played out.
Yeah,
but and granted, I was a kid when that match happened, so as a kid, I was like, he gave up. Oh no, is he okay? The Rock turned his brains into scrambled eggies.
I'm pretty sure the Undertaker did that long before the Rock did.
But I love it. I love that idea of an I Quit match inside Hell in a Cell. I'm super apprehensive of
hoping that Jimmy doesn't come down and say I quit for him.
Oh, I'll throw something. I'll punch. I will go through my wall.
I mean, I'm just these ideas pop up in my head like of the different routes they could take. And that's just one of the ones that had to have been pitched in creative meetings.
Well, of course, because even Ted's on your side. I think Jimmy throws in the towel. Roman wins. People are still annoyed because he didn't say I quit. Let me tell you something, people. Let me tell you something. If that happens, if Jimmy comes down and throws in the towel for his brother one more time, I might go through a wall.
I mean, that right there could lead to the split of the Usos.
That's why I think I'd go through a wall, because you don't want to see the split of the Usos. If anything, you see the Usos eventually joining with Roman. We get that Samoan dynasty kind of faction that's always been talked about. Right around the time you either bring up UE or you have them go against Retribution. Oh, no, Ted found a different way I could get mad. Leave it to the guys over at Periscope to piss me off. Maybe they use twin magic and Jay still loses, Roman wins.
It's kind of hard to... That would mean... Dude, that would mean they would have to, trim up, shape up, wear the same clothes again, get that haircut looking nice because they both look scraggly as hell, or one does and one looks clean.
Bro, I'm telling you, if that happens, dude,
if that happens, they might. If that happens, they might as well, grow some breasts and call themselves the Bella Twins.
Wow, we went there. Okay, round 4 of the WWE Draft.
Nope. Oh no. We're still on round 3, son. We're still on round 3.
We are. The hell we are.
What? You don't want Miz and Morrison to Raw? You don't want You don't want the greatest draft pick of round 3 of Mysterio and Dominic to SmackDown?
All right, folks. We put Butters in timeout tonight. Because now we're saying dumb things. I know it's his job to say dumb things, but we're saying dumb things. We're going to bring Butters back in here. Let's see if he can behave.
Let me in. Oh, there we go.
You done saying stupid things?
I ain't done saying stupid things. I'm going to say stupid shit even more. you don't disagree, and it. No. That smile says it all.
No, because I almost took you out of the stream again. I thought about it. I legit thought about it. But
4th pick of round 3 was the dumbest shit in the world.
It really was, because you had the opportunity. And Seth even cuts the promo earlier in the night saying how he doesn't have to see the Mysterio family's eventual downfall. But yet you bring over Dominic and Ray. And
that promo should have alluded to the whole BS. Ooh. Woosah.
Kevin saying, I think Dominic will have a better push on SmackDown. And you know what? If they didn't take Seth and put him over there, I'd say, yeah, they're gonna push Dominic to the moon on SmackDown. But we're still going to have this Seth thing lingering over on SmackDown.
Especially with the supplemental draft.
Now, and this is where I'm scared. This is where I'm incredibly scared. Because now it's on Fox. And Fox is notorious for letting things get edgy. And we have this Aaliyah Mysterio Buddy Murphy thing. And did they move everybody over to SmackDown to let this storyline get edgier?
Probably.
I just don't know. And I don't know if I really ever want to know.
Oh, it's gonna get edgy. Something tells me.
Joey, I'll pay for the plane ticket.
You know what? I'd have to pitch in because I wouldn't mind getting tombstoned by the Undertaker.
No, you're an idiot. You didn't read that properly. Joey wants to tombstone you.
Oh, I thought put that back up. I thought it said he wanted the Undertaker to tombstone me. Yeah, I want the Undertaker to tombstone Butters.
Where do you? That's not. I want the Undertaker tombstone Butters.
He probably missed the two between the Undertaker and Tombstone.
Let's see, Joey, please. I need some clarification there, my brother. Jeff, I don't want to butcher your name, man. I'm gonna guess Stottleman. I hope that's right, man.
Hey, that's close. That's pretty good.
Jeff,
it's better than butchering it.
End this storyline. I agree.
It's getting as bad as Bailey and Sasha.
Kevin saying, well, that's if they draft Buddy to SmackDown as well. Hey, Kev. We're getting
Kevin there. Supplemental draft.
Stop calling it a supplemental draft because it wasn't a supplemental draft.
That's what they're calling it, dadgummit.
But it wasn't.
I get that, but that's what they're calling it, damn it.
No. Let's not be dumb.
So what's your take on Miz and Morrison to Raw?
I like it. Especially if you keep the new... Thank you. Oh, damn it, Joey. Never mind, Joey.
I told you.
What are you, 2?
No, 5.
All right, fair enough. Todd's wanting to know, what are they going to do with the Street Profits? Todd, I think they're going to be part of the draft pool on Monday.
Yes, they are.
Miz and Morrison getting drafted to, what's that show called? Raw. Especially if they stay as tag team champions. I think they can do some great things over there because we haven't really gotten to see Miz and Morrison and the New Day at full strength. Because by the time Morrison came back, Xavier was still out. We didn't get to see this dynamic. But here's the other thing. Let's say the Street Profits don't get drafted and the New Day do end up dropping the titles. Now we get to see the Street Profits versus Miz and Morrison, and I am about that. Because Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins can write a promo, and so can Miz and Morrison. And if they do the hey, hey, ho, ho, whatever the fuck they're calling that, and then let the Street Profits do some rap stuff and bring in Josiah Williams, because Josiah's back with WWE, I believe, I smell money.
Vince smells money. What you talking about?
I smell money for other reasons.
Yep, I just caught on.
Todd saying Belair is a better heel than face, so they really need to keep them separated. I agree. I absolutely agree to that, Todd.
I mean, honestly, they don't even have to really keep them separated right now. They're not traveling. They're all doing everything in the same stadium. So,
yes.
Try me, Joey. Try me.
I just want like violence. I'm all about the violence.
Man, somebody going to, you know what? One of these days, I'm about to actually get into a wrestling match one day. Just train and Just do it once. I'll be a happy man.
That would require you to exert physical effort.
If it meant just doing it just once, it'd be worth it.
Okay.
Would you?
Don't be surprised at the people that I know. I get that. Don't be surprised, fam.
Try me.
Okay. You want the smoke? I'll bring the smoke.
And the Skittles? No.
You're training, bitch.
Round 4.
He's like, fuck it, we're going on. We're moving on.
Hey, I'll do it. I'd do it for a match.
So this is where everything kind of hits the fan. You get Kofi and Xavier being announced as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They win the titles, and Stephanie says they're going to Raw.
And it was kind of crazy because they're like, because both Kofi and Xavier's like, what about Big E? You didn't say his name. What about Big E? What the hell?
Here's what upset me about this. Honestly, here's what truly upset me about it. This didn't close the show.
No, it didn't.
Now, obviously, yeah, you get the Fiend, you get Alexa, that closes the show, and then the imagery is good there. I'm all for that. But the fact that this didn't close the show with just the look on their face, I feel like it would have been so much stronger because that's all people were talking about. Yeah,
it would have been
her and all that. But oh man, this would have been phenomenal to end with.
It would have been a better closer. I will agree with that. You had the somber faces, the sadness, the holy shit, what just happened? Typical, great, cliffhanger.
And have it going off the air with Xavier just shouting with that famous what that he does. That what would have been perfect.
Oh yeah. Like I said, Big E's face it told the whole story right there.
Ted saying, are we going to talk about Triple H? I mean, Cody taking back his championship made for him. We talked about a little bit earlier, Ted, how it's going to be Cody and Orange Cassidy. Looks like next week for the title.
Yep.
If you've ever watched any of the shows I've done on here, I'm not an AEW fan.
I try to keep up just in case.
I keep my eye on it. I keep my eye on the product, but I just outside of what Cody does, because I'm a Cody fan. I've been a Cody fan ever since he came on the wrestling scene.
You mean you've been a Stardust fan?
Yeah, I was a Stardust fan. Hell yeah, I was a Stardust fan.
I mean, he got to do so much with his brother and his dad, and that's the good thing,
That's why I liked it, is because you got to see the family dynamic there, and especially now knowing that, like, shortly thereafter, Dusty ends up passing. After all that stuff they do, that means so much more. Like it holds so much more weight to it.
Dana Brooke staying on Raw. I mean,
Dana Brooke staying on Raw, Otis staying on SmackDown, and Angel staying on Raw.
So, do we see now, as a guest with Angel staying on Raw? Do we see Del Rio maybe moving to SmackDown?
I'm sorry, who?
Oh, fuck.
You know that Del Rio's like facing criminal charges right now, right? Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that's why he's on the brain.
You meant Andrade.
Yes.
The future
Andrade, I am so sorry. Yes, the future Mr. Flair. Oh, my God.
Ted, idiot.
Oh, I'm a big-time idiot. I'm talking about Andrade. Could we see an Andrade to SmackDown?
I think so. Especially if Charlotte doesn't get drafted. I totally think you see them now, because what's to say they don't go back on the road soon?
This is true. But I kind of don't see him going.
Hold on. The man needs his introduction. Granted, he doesn't need any introduction, but is the godfather of HUD radio. It is the cricket hunter himself, Tom Arnold.
We're
plug moment. Tomorrow, before the Eagles game, you can catch Tom on 97.5 locally in New Jersey. He's going to be at All Campus doing a live pregame show for the Eagles game from about, what is it, Tom, like 10 to 12 or whatever it is, something like that. We're going to be broadcasting it here and also on ESPN. So cheap plug time. Cheap plug time over. Back to pro wrestling. That's what I know best.
It's, okay, so the first round of the draft, very interesting. I'll give them that. It's been
I will find out and I will confirm for you. Stand by. Keep talking, Chuckles.
No, great first round. Very interesting with the picks. Even though round one was kind of obvious with the champs. But I will give them this. They did do a lot of good move arounds, a lot of shockers. It's been a while since we've seen a draft with a good shocker. And hopefully, Monday we'll see, even more shockers. We'll see even more, maybe a couple returns or something because we ain't seen a few people in a while. Because, heck, who do we just see, Friday night come back?
Xavier and Kofi?
No. Wow, my mind just went. Lars Sullivan.
Oh, hell no. Fuck that guy. I've never cared. Look. I've never cared less. You hear me? I've never cared less about a return.
Somebody actually counted the many times the announce table said the word freak.
So, Ted, hold on. I want to answer Ted's question. Ted goes 97.5 or 97.3. Ted, it's 97.3. I'm dumb. And also, I live in Texas, so I'm dumb.
Surprise.
Looks stupid.
Stupid is, the stupid does.
ESPN. It'll also be broadcast on HUD Radio as well as ESPN.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Back to let's talking about this putz Lars Sullivan.
No, what I was saying is somebody actually counted the number of times the announce table said the word freak. The freak Lars Sullivan, the freak ending, the freak this, the freak that, 15 times.
Kevin saying, whatever happened to that guy Lars anyway? So here's what I remember.
Panic attack.
He would have panic attacks. And all right, let's put it out there.
And then an injury.
Let's put it out there. The fact that he had the panic attacks and everything like that, I don't hold it against the man. All the mental issues that he had, I don't hold it against the guy whatsoever. The injury, I don't hold it against the guy. Okay? I just legitimately don't give a shit about this guy's character. Because he is somebody that should be going out there and he should be wrecking everybody in the most dominant, angry way possible. And he moves like a turtle. And he does the most basic bitch moves ever.
Isn't that a typical big guy, though, doing the most basic stuff?
Shit. It's the Ralphie D fan club. It's been resurrected like a phoenix coming up from the ashes. The Ralphie D fan club is back just in time to watch the Lakers blow it and let Jimmy Butler and the Heat take that NBA final.
Oh, my God. That's good shit.
Love you, Ralph.
Oh, Ralph's gonna. Oh, man.
I hope he heard it too. That would have been great. But no, I mean, realistically, right? He moves so slow, and the choke slam and the freak accident. It looked like it was an accident. It looked like he messed the whole thing up.
The dude's been out for how long now? I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a little rusty. But I mean, Monday night we could see Daniel Bryan come back. We could see, hell, who do we got on here for Monday night that we haven't seen in a while? I don't really see anybody on this list that we haven't seen in a while. Maybe Elias, Tamina.
Oh, so we can walk with Elias.
I'd rather be walking with Elias than having a freak accident.
Kevin going, he heard it.
Oh, Lord. But overall, great draft. Can't wait for Monday night. Let's do it, boy. I was excited because some years are hit and miss, and this year was a big hit. Even though it's only the first half.
I won't make that judgment until it's over, till the entire draft's over. But I thought it was a very solid night one. You laid some groundwork. You let them, you kind of let them lay the foundation. You do some shocks. You do some twists, some swerves, right? But it was solid. It was a very solid draft.
And of course, I'm pretty sure.
I'm done burying Lars. I'm done burying Lars.
We'll see some obvious stays on Raw, like, more than likely Keith Lee, Randy Orton, Retribution.
Man. I could see the swerve that Retribution gets moved to SmackDown.
You think so?
I could see the swerve.
But who are they going to go after with no longer, facing up against the Hurt Business?
I don't know.
See, that's the problem. I agree. It could happen, and they could find a group of people to go, screw this, let's take them on. With Big E leading the charge.
Yeah, Tom saying I agree to the poll. Kevin Dixon saying now I'm hearing Bayley might get drafted to Raw.
Then that would mean, Sasha wins it at Hell in a Cell. Because Sasha challenged Bayley to a Hell in a Cell match. That means this year we'll have 3 cell matches.
2, 3. We could have more. I think we end up having more.
I'm surprised WWE hasn't gone full TNA and done a full lockdown style pay-per-view. Where all the matches are in a cell.
Again, I'm surprised they haven't done it in the past. But I'm kind of glad they haven't done it in the past either. I didn't like the idea of lockdown where every match, it took it away, right? Somebody posted somewhere in one of the groups I'm in, has Hell in a Cell, has the uniqueness of Hell in a Cell been taken away? And I say yes, it has. But that's where you add in a stipulation like the I Quit match. That adds some depth to it.
That's what I say, because used to it was maybe once a year we got a cell match, a Hell in a Cell match. If we were lucky.
It wasn't even every year either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we were lucky, and now it's like every.
We're as we get closer to Hell in a Cell, I think we're going to do some like Hell in a Cell history. We'll really dive into the history of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the main event for SmackDown very briefly, and then let's kind of go into some draft night 2 predictions. Main event was Kevin Owens versus The Fiend. It was the first time The Fiend has wrestled on SmackDown. Which is kind of a shocker as long as he's been over there. Not really. Brian Daly from the Hockey Happy Hour saying, what up, Daly? It's not that shocking to me, though. It's smart. It's incredibly smart. Right? There was no reason for him to ever wrestle on SmackDown. And I don't even think that it was smart to have him wrestle last night.
And you gotta make big hype. I know you had the draft, but you gotta make it. You gotta hype it big. Get everybody to watch the draft. And what better way than
their numbers skyrocketed last night?
What better way than, of course, having the draft, but have some big matches. For the first time ever, The Fiend wrestles on SmackDown versus Kevin Owens.
Which I
Kevin
like the
Owens,
match. I thought they did a great match.
I agree. I
That
totally
finish was
100%
good.
agree.
I really like the finish.
So are we about to see a changed Kevin Owens?
I think so. Daly goes, hold. Can we back up? No more New Day. This is what happens when you're late, Brian.
You're late to the party. You're late to the show. Get on out.
No, don't get out. Stay. We need the viewers.
Oh, yes. Stay. But still, stop being late.
They got Kofi and Xavier got moved to Raw, and Big E's on SmackDown.
As I said at the beginning, it's a sad day. Yes, it is.
You're just waiting for that joke to get over, aren't you?
No, that's probably the last time I'm going to say it all night.
Okay, fair enough. I like the vision. I think we do get a change, Kevin Owens. I don't know if I want him to. I don't know if I want them to start building this cult for the Fiend.
I wouldn't say we get a cult Kevin Owens. I've
been tweeting this thought for a while though. Hear me out. They could, in theory, build a new Ministry of Darkness with the Fiend.
So you're saying Kevin Owens is the new Midian?
Yes. Just not as weird. Midian was weird. Midian was very weird. Like an uncomfortable kind of weird.
I mean, it was the Attitude Era we're talking here.
No. Even for the Attitude Era, that was uncomfortable. But, I've been thinking about it, and I've kind of kept it quiet, and I hadn't really put it out there in the universe, but almost not a new Wyatt family, because that didn't work, right? He didn't go around doing the same kind of things that Taker did in the abductions and the brainwashing, for lack of a better phrase. There's this aura about the Fiend that we haven't seen on anybody else since The Undertaker. And we could, in theory, see with Kevin Owens on SmackDown the return of Fight Owens Fight.
Yep. Or the best friend Kevin Owens. Best friends with the Fiend.
Where he goes back to Kevin Steen.
No. I'm saying best friends like the Jericho line where he's best friends with the Fiend.
That could happen too. I don't want that to happen, but they could really start building this up. And whereas as a fan, I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. I'd love that. I think I would truly love to see that. But then as someone who watches and critiques, and when I stop being a fan and I do this, right? Whatever it is that we do here.
We talk.
I don't know if I want to see that. I'm so on the fence about it.
Maybe just a return, Fight Owens Fight. Not so much as a heel, but just a
go back to where he walks out, fucks up everybody's day.
Exactly.
That's all I want. Just fuck up somebody's day. Bray, Bliss, and Black doing the Funhouse. Where the hell does Aleister Black come into the mix of this?
I mean,
and Kevin.
They could both end up getting drafted to SmackDown and form some goofy ass stable with the Fiend. I think that's where he's going with that. I think that's where he's going with it.
I gotta think on that more. I do love what they're doing with Alexa and how she walked up to Kevin and didn't say diddly squat to him other than let him in. That was perfect. It's the best thing happening on WWE TV right now.
Yeah. Better than, Bailey Sasha. Better than Seth and his lackey versus the Mysterios.
Yeah,
Let's just move all that.
Might as well talk about it.
The supplemental draft.
Happening today. It happened today during Talking Smack. Humberto Carrillo, whatever the fuck you say his name, Murphy, Drew Gulak, Kalisto, and Tucker. So Heavy Machinery broken up, Lucha House Party broken up, Murphy back over there with Rollins, which makes sense because Murphy kind of turned on Rollins a little bit Monday night. Brian Daly saying Alexa Bliss, God, man, get a hobby.
I can say the same about you, but I'll just give it to you. I mean, it's Alexa Bliss.
I just like fucking with Daly. Joey DiMartino, Bliss, Black, and Bray, the new B team. Oh, Christ, no. Oh, no. I'll end the damn show now. No. Hell no.
B Squad.
God, it's so tempting to take you out of the stream. Nobody can have this kind of power. Nobody.
But God, why do you move one storyline from one show to the other? What do you expect? That it's going to get better on Fox?
Well, I think that's because, but I do think that's the idea because, like I said earlier, is Fox lets them get a little edgier than NBC will.
But I thought it was over. I thought it was done. I'm tired of Seth.
I saw an article today that said it's 152 days that this storyline's been going on. 100. Let me say it one more time. 152 days. Okay, I'm gonna say it for you in the back. 152 days.
That's like 4.5, 5 months, roughly, give or take.
I know. I'm well aware.
Fuck. I mean, that's not.
You did good math.
You're getting into Sasha Bailey territory. Stop while you're ahead or behind, whichever one you want to call it.
I'm okay with 152 days of a storyline. If it actually did something, if it went somewhere, if there was definitive points within the storyline that mattered. And somebody could look at me and say, Andy, there have been definitive storylines. There have been definitive points. And I see your argument. I just don't agree.
This storyline in general, leave Seth out of it. Just the whole Murphy thing's going good. Have Murphy beat his ass, send him on home, crying to his mama or his old lady, whichever one, because he's about to be out anyways. But, and then have the whole Murphy Aaliyah storyline go out and Murphy versus Dominic for a little while. I'll be fine with that.
I said it. I don't know where I said it, when I said it, or how, but I made the comment that Murphy will end up teaming with Dominic and they will end up becoming tag team champions.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's typical WWE. Let's put two ragtags together, make them a tag team, and we'll let them win the titles.
Well, because they're going to do some lover storyline with Aaliyah, and it's like the brother and the boyfriend, and Aaliyah will manage them.
And Seth, I think they're both going to go after Seth, whoop his ass, and, send him packing till his kid's born. I mean,
pretty much. Seth's power left when AOP left, says Todd Womack.
Nah.
I don't disagree. But there was a different feel when you had AOP. You had muscle. Seth could walk out there and say whatever he wanted. And somebody tries to challenge him. All Seth does is, boys, and AOP moves in.
Well, he could get some muscle somehow. I mean, who do you got you could get muscle-wise? I mean, dear God, you really don't got anybody, do you?
Yeah, so thank you for that.
Shinsuke and Cesaro, maybe? I don't know.
He said dumb things again, guys. We took him out of the stream again.
I could have said Riddick Moss.
Once again, more dumb things.
Aleister Black? Ah. Not as dumb.
No, it's still dumb. I'm just tired of taking you in and out of the stream.
In and out, in and out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the OG FWO member himself. It's the man from Birds of a Feather and occasionally Lazy Booking, Pete Evans.
Yo, yo, yo.
Joey DiMartino saying the ragtag worked with the bar. The bar. Which I did like that Cesaro and they did a callback to the bar last night with Cesaro and Sheamus on commentary. Like, I think Michael Cole made. Yeah, Cesaro. My God, that's 13 names. Cesaro.
That's what we're calling him now, boys.
Yep, Cesaro. No, Cesaro. I don't remember if it was during the Cesaro match or if it was during the Sheamus match, but Michael Cole made a reference about the bar. So I like that. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, let's do night 2 predictions. Because there's really not a whole lot else to talk about wrestling wise.
Oh, how about that Monday night finisher?
Did you? It's been a long week.
Mustafa Ali, the leader of Retribution.
Oh yeah, sorry. Lazy Booking talked about it a little bit, and with the draft and everything like that, I did kind of forget about it. So Monday Night on Raw, it was revealed that Mustafa Ali is the leader of Retribution.
I mean, that's a hell of an ending to Raw right there.
Well, it's an interesting ending, but I don't think Mustafa's the true leader. We were talking about it, me, Pete, and Chrome, and I don't remember if it was Pete or if it was Chrome. God, my memory is shit. But
it's been a week, I'll give you that.
It really has. It's been one of the longest weeks of my life.
Yeah, but it's also been a crazy week in wrestling, so I mean, I got to give it that too.
But it was along the lines of, this could be like when Devon was outed as a member of Aces and Eights, and ultimately ends up being Bubba is the leader of Retribution.
Yeah.
You know, but I liked it. I liked it. I liked the idea that they went with Mustafa. You know, he'd been kind of flying under the radar. They worked it back into the hacker storyline from earlier last year on SmackDown.
Yeah, I felt like that whole thing was, it was 2-part. You got the hacker coming in talking about, telling the truth and all this other good stuff, and then here's Retribution coming in.
And Joey agreed. Mustafa Ali's a lieutenant. I completely agree with that notion. I don't think he's the true leader.
Hurt Business, their face. Again, another priceless.
MVP's face was priceless because MVP's like, yeah, go get him, Ali. Yeah. Ali turns around and is like, fuck.
MVP.
He immediately went, damn it. And then squares up like, all right, we're doing this.
MVP is the MVP of this segment, pun intended. I mean, oh my God. Ever since MVP's been back, I mean, it has been nothing but gold with this man.
Oh, agreed. A million %.
He only wanted to come back for the whole Royal Rumble skit, and then ends up coming back full time, and it's like the whole time he's been here, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, now
I like it. I like it in the early stages, but again, I'm the kind of person to where I want to see it play out before I make any kind of judgment. I give it a couple of weeks, right? Especially when it just kind of happens and there's no explanation after it. So Let's give it a couple of weeks. Let's see how they play it out. They're probably going to hang me with it, but we'll see. And Todd brings up a great question. Who should be the leader? I don't know. Let's let the draft finish before I make that comment, because I could say somebody right now, and Monday night they could end up on SmackDown. So we'll come back to that.
Yeah, but hey, wouldn't that be a crazy leader idea, though?
To what, have them over on SmackDown?
Yes, because no one would see it coming.
I mean, yeah.
Our leader, he's coming, he's showing, he's on SmackDown. You didn't know.
No, I wouldn't like that.
It'd be a nice swerve.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all. Would not like that at all.
I mean, other than that, really good match, like we talked about earlier of NXT TakeOver. Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor knocking each other's jaws apart. Dear Jesus. I mean, that match in itself was match of the week, match of the night. Hell, maybe even match of the year for all we know. Jeez.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did.
And I don't know how much you like it, but I was actually kind of shocked and interested. Wednesday, October 28th, the return of Halloween Havoc.
Meh.
With Shotzi Blackheart as your guest host.
Meh.
Hey, Shotzi's going to make it one hell of a night. I'll tell you that.
Shotzi's going to have a blast with it, right? I don't know. Meh. Don't keep recycling WCW things.
I think they're just doing that to keep Cody from getting it. That's
they
all.
100% are.
And to rub it in his face.
I'm not dumb.
Oh yeah. We're gonna rub it in his face.
All right, let's do night 2. We're probably gonna wrap it up here in about the next 10 minutes or so. But so let's do night 2 real fast. Do you see any big moves to be possibly made?
Maybe Lacey Evans or Charlotte Flair to Raw.
I'd like Lacey to Raw. I think Lacey would thrive on Raw.
Maybe a Jeff Hardy to Raw. Maybe.
I don't care.
And either Billy Kay or Peyton Royce to SmackDown.
Billy Kay would go to SmackDown.
You could see. Man, maybe.
Are you looking at the list? Because I don't have the list in front of me.
Yes, I'm looking at the list.
All right, so let's do this. Read off the name.
Okay.
And as we read off the name, and go one at a time, right? And I'll tell you Raw or SmackDown. You tell me Raw or SmackDown.
Andrade.
Right? SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree. SmackDown. Bailey.
SmackDown.
I could see them moving her to Raw and having Sasha win the title, just to kind of split that feud, be done with it.
Then it makes me not want to watch the match.
I
know Sasha wins at that point. Don't do that to me.
Aleister Black.
Raw.
I agree. Staying on Raw. Alexa Bliss.
SmackDown.
SmackDown 100% because of the Fiend.
Yep.
They'd be too abrupt to end that storyline. Daniel Bryan.
Raw. No. Free agent.
Yeah, because he's at home with his kid and wife.
Free agent.
Carmella, I'd say to keep her on SmackDown.
I think she stays on SmackDown.
King Corbin, Raw.
Don't care, but Raw.
Apollo Crews, I think, still on Raw.
Still on Raw.
Because if they move him to SmackDown, then that'd just be IC title run for him.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross.
SmackDown.
Free agent, maybe.
Maybe. I don't think they move her to Raw yet.
Dabba-Kato. He's Raw Underground.
Draft.
Yep, his name is in the draft, sir.
Fuck.
I'd say he stays on Raw.
Nope.
I'd say Raw Underground.
Nope. I don't think they're doing Raw Underground anymore.
Okay. Ziggler and Rude, they're combining them as a tag team.
They stay on Raw.
I feel like that's a SmackDown move there. Erica the Viking Raiders, because Ivar is out with an injury.
Correct. SmackDown.
Yeah, I can see a good move to SmackDown. We already talked Lacey.
Yep.
Charlotte, stay on SmackDown. Or actually,
free agent. Charlotte's free agent.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy, free agent.
SmackDown.
We already talked Billy Kay. Your favorite, Lana, Raw.
Raw.
So she get put through another table this week.
Yep.
Keith Lee.
Raw.
Staying on Raw. Hopefully for that title match with Drew. I'd like to see a good match with them instead of getting interrupted every week. Riddick Moss, his name's on there. Don't shoot the messenger. Free agent. He got nothing for the man.
Ryan Brodo. Ryan Brodo's going to draft him to whatever team Ryan Brodo plays for.
Back to NXT. No. Natty, staying on Raw with Lana.
Raw.
Titus O'Neil, his name is actually on there.
Raw.
Randy Orton, staying on Raw.
Raw. Actually,
Kevin
Titus
Owens.
to SmackDown. Titus to SmackDown.
You think so?
Yeah, and I think KO stays on SmackDown. No, KO comes to Raw.
No, KO's on Raw. I think he comes to SmackDown.
Okay, yeah, sure. He switches brands. Whatever fucking brand he's on, he's switching.
I think he switches to SmackDown to do more with the Fiend.
Yeah.
And it actually says it on here. I can't believe I'm saying it, but WWE 24/7 champion R-Truth.
Raw.
Yeah, Raw. Retribution, Mustafa Ali, T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, Reckoning, and Retaliation.
Raw.
Matt Riddle.
SmackDown.
I could see a Raw move.
No, him and Jeff will be tag team partners.
The Riot Squad.
Raw.
Yep. Hopefully try to face off. I can see Raw because hopefully try to face off with the
I think
women's tag champs
Raw
again.
Well, no, because the women's tag champs can bounce around, so I could see them going to SmackDown.
We talked about Peyton, and I don't know who the hell this is, but Arturo Ruiz.
I know who it is. The name sounds incredibly familiar. SmackDown.
Sheamus, stay on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think so.
Cesaro, I think stays on SmackDown.
Yeah.
The Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, going to be smoking on down to SmackDown.
Yep, Todd agrees with us. SmackDown on that.
Braun Strowman, I could kind of see the Raw move.
I could see it too. I think he's wrestling on SmackDown next week on the season premiere, but I could see him going to Raw.
Yep. Maybe just a Drew feud and then feud with somebody, Big Show or somebody on Raw.
Maybe.
Tamina.
Don't care.
She free agent because we ain't seen her in a while. Akira Tozawa.
Don't
the
care.
Shark's gonna eat him. The Shark's gonna eat him again.
Don't care.
Zelina Vega. Maybe
Raw.
a move to maybe move to SmackDown. A feud with Sasha sounds
Not
good.
it. Fuck you. No. No. Raw.
Bray Wyatt, his ass is staying on SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Unless they move Alexa with him.
SmackDown.
WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn.
SmackDown.
Because they didn't move the U.S. title, so. And then last but not least, Walk with Elias.
Free agent just so he can pop up on every show because fuck it.
Actually, yeah, I kind of agree. Free agent because he's one of those. He's another one of those ones we ain't seen in a while.
Yeah, fuck it.
But it's not.
I don't even know if our numbers made sense. I just kind of guessed.
And then hold up. We did forget the one person that they added to the draft on Friday night because he made his famous return, Lars Sullivan.
How many different words do you want to hear me say? I don't give a damn.
Last one. Just wanted to make sure I just wanted to make sure how you gave.
No fucks given.
Awesome. So your book's empty, right?
Yep.
All right. No more coupons to punch out. All right.
What's a coupon?
Fuck coupon. I ain't got no more fucks to give.
God help me. I can't believe we're ending on that. But guys,
great draft. Ready for Monday night. Let's do it.
potential to be a good draft. I think it has the potential to be a very good draft when it's all said and done.
Yes.
But that's another episode of In This Very Ring right here at A2D Radio. Guys, we want to thank everybody that hung out with us tonight. The chat, all you guys out there, Todd, Joey, Pete, Kevin, Ted, Chrome. I'm sure I missed somebody. But guys, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, thank you so very much.
We want to thank our
Cody.
Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Check them out on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Ambuck Services at AMBUCK Services. They are the gutter and deck restoration experts. We want to thank QB54 for giving us our poll question this week. You check them out at playqb54.com. The boys over at Philly Drinkers, they've got your new A2D Radio fall fashion selection. So check them out. You can get a wonderful In This Very Ring shirt. Butters, you have the hat on. Butters has the hat on and the shirt. Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Gotta plug the merch. Cheap plug,
so
cheap plug.
Check them out, guys. And make sure you guys check out Tom and everybody at 97.3 tomorrow, on 97.3 tomorrow. Preview the Eagles game. Tom and the boys will be back in the studio for Agree to Disagree following the game. Do a little recap. Hope to God they win, please. It's been a rough week around here. It's been a rough season around here. I know they won last week, but damn, it's been a rough season around here.
Hey, things are looking up. Things are looking up. The Eagles will do good.
Sport Town, at least you know they're a football team. Sport Towns will be back on Monday. Lazy Booking will be back on Tuesday. Fixing the PM on Wednesday. Birds of a Feather and the Hockey Happy Hour on Thursday. On the Road to Victory on Friday. Kicking It Stateside Weekly Roundup. And then we're back next week with a draft recap. Guys, for all of us here at HUD Radio, we appreciate you. We appreciate you chiming in on the shows. Make sure you're following HUD Radio on all social media platforms. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Guys, and remember, every day, tell someone you love them. We out.
Peace.